Welcome back to the channel. Holy crap, this thing's probably going to explode. I dropped it. No, not that bad. Here we go. Lit malt liquor. Volleyball it today. Oh man, my right knee is still, well, it feels a lot better now, but doing that Indian sitting and using my knee as a prop every time I got up when we were doing K-member yoga, it didn't like it. So it was swole up pretty good. Monday? I don't know. All right. Well, what have we discovered or done? We haven't really done anything working on the car, more or less. What we discovered is we had a abysmal showing at TNT. All kinds of issues. So we thought we had a handle on what the situation was. So we drove the car home from the track with no chip in it, ran fine, AFRs were good, and we drove it to work and everything was fine. Drove it home, everything was fine. Drove it to work the next day, everything was fine. Drove it home, everything was mostly fine. It kind of did a weird boom thing. No big deal. Drive it to work the next day, it kind of does a bump thing a couple of times, like when we're kind of not getting on it, but just feeding it a little throttle. Drive it home that day, it starts running like total garbage. The AFRs were kind of drifting down too on the wideband from the second day of work and the third day at work. The AFRs were kind of drifting down. Driving it home yesterday, it was running, I didn't know if it was going to get home. It was running like complete garbage. Popping, just everything was trash. So, now before someone says, scan for codes, this car has never been able to, you can hook whatever scanner you want up to it, it's not going to tell you nothing. I don't know why. Bruce got an $800 scanner, Yoda, it won't read. So, whatever. So anyway, thought maybe it could be MSD box. That's the easiest thing. Just bypass it. See what happens. We bypass the MSD box, take it down the road. It's doing the same thing. Okay, it's not an MSD box. That's easy enough. Plug it all back in. So it's like, well, texting with like Dawn for me. Hey, what about it could be mass air. A car will act berserk with a mass air that's going bad. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So we pulled the 42 Pro M off of it. I had a 30 Pro M sitting here, whatever, put it on. Car drove normal. Got on it, power, everything, not going crazy, just whapping the throttle, but drivability, roll into it, just give it throttle and stuff. It didn't do it a single time. I drove it twice like that. It was fine. So what are we doing now? I have another 42 Pro M, and it's blue, 80R, that's blue, that I bought 5, 6, 7 years ago when I first got the blower, that I bought for the blower. I just never used it. I've never tried it. I don't know anything about it. Supposedly it worked. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. Whatever. And it's an older Pro M. Still got the old black. It doesn't have the new sticker Pro M Racing. It's just Pro M. So I'm going to try that first and see what happens. If that works, I pulled the element out of the one that was on it. Didn't look like anything's on it, but that don't mean nothing. Cleaned it with some contact cleaner stuff, put it back together. But I'm going to try the blue one. I also brought some stock electronics home. I have a CNL, VORTECH CNL 80 millimeter that came with this kit when I bought it, that's supposed to have the correct tube for 42s, yet it has no color on it, and I can't remember. I don't know. I think I looked it up a while years ago, and it was the correct one, but whatever. So I brought some stock electronics home that I can clean up, just whatever, and put it and see what that does. Anyway, so that's where we're at. We've got a bunch of other stuff we'd like to do. There's a TNT this weekend, but the rain chance, it's like 70% chance of rain for Sunday. So there's a good chance we're not even going to get to go. But that doesn't mean we're not going to work on a car. I want to raise the front end up some and change the control arm bolts, some control arm bolts in the rear of the car. And there's a few other things that I want to do, but obviously the main thing is to get it running right, or righter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll try that mass air, see what happens.
Dirty, 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 dirty pickle.
We got the Blue Goose on it. The cover plate just popped off, so I duct taped it on real quick. We'll seal it properly after we see what's what. But the Blue Goose is on. Let's fire this junk up. Our TPS is a little low, but the voltage is not trying to jump around or act crazy. So I opened it and closed it 3 or 4 times, so we'll bump it up a little bit. We put our ancient VORTECH CNL on, and it ran and drove pretty good. So we're just gonna roll with that for right now. Got the car kind of raised up. I'm a little bit happier with it, so to speak. It was just sitting too low. So yeah, let me adjust the TPS, and then we'll maybe take it on a test drive. Got to have it running right before we do anything, really do anything else, I guess. Oh, the internet, we did it just perfect. As far as the two-step goes, we checked the button with our test light. Button's working fine. So anything that's an issue with a two-step is either in the two-step module or in the selector. I don't know what the heck's going on. I checked the connections. It's good. So I don't know. fuel pressure gauge, fuel pressure, I looked over, fuel pressure had just like kind of dropped off to like 25 pounds. It's kind of flittering and fluttering a little bit. So, you know, come home, try and run a little fuel pressure in it, you know, with the regulator, and it's not really responding. So maybe the fuel pump's going out, maybe the regulator's going out. I mean, maybe the filter's plugged. I mean, I thought maybe we had some kind of fuel line damage. Another piece of the fuel line had given up the ghost. No. So if it is the fuel pump, no worries. We have got a freshie right here from our good friend Don. He had sent me these a while back, and it looks like possibly we'll be using one. I'll try the filter first because it's the easiest, but whatever. And we also got in the mail 8 brand new Autolite 103s. We bought these with our own money. I also got this. Pretty sure I know what this is too. Ooh, gotta be careful when I open this up. Old school. Don sent me these. VORTECH. Old school. Finally, Don, appreciate it. Send me the big ones too. Wow. And they're silver, so can't hide what we got going on inside. Not that we care about hiding anything anyway. Well, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps, I don't know. At least it drove like it's supposed to, but I don't know, one thing after another. So we'll guess we'll start working on that. And the 2-step, I don't know what's going on. I haven't, you know, the button has power. There's power to the 2-step module. So either the module's not working, I'll check the ground. I mean, but that's it. It's fairly simplistic. It's plugged into the MSD box. That's it. It either works or it kind of doesn't work. So, but we have another one that we can try and see if that fixes it. Part swap it at. Thank God, this is the good news when you have multiple cars. You just swap stuff around, see what works and what doesn't, and then you end up with 8 cars that don't run and 2 cars that do run. So I guess it all balances out. Anyway, thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't do it without you. That is a Big Tony guarantee, but especially thanks for watching, and until next time on the Substandard Leader and Fox Body videos on this here man's YouTube. And I promise at some point this piece of crap's going to run right. It's going to be decent at the track, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying. 1 year only twin turbo Lincoln Town Cars with a 5-speed. 4 drag vans. Owner, proprietor, and cook, plumber, yardsman, mechanic at that crap hole known as Club Big Boost. And as always, fight a good fight against zombie Mustangs and that rascal Dr. Fear. We'll see you guys in the next doggone video. And the combination for this car is listed in the description of the video, like always, 90% of the time.